The story of God's creation. Close your eyes now and let yourself drift back to a time before time itself existed. Before there were stars to count or waves to listen to, there was only God. And in the perfect stillness of eternity, God prepared to create. The darkness was complete, deeper than any night you've ever known. There was no earth yet, no sky, no vast oceans. There was only the Spirit of God, hovering over the face of the deep waters, moving gently like a breath about to be released. And then God spoke. His voice moved through the void like the first note of a song. "Let there be light," he said. And light came into being brilliantly, perfectly. The light separated from the darkness, and for the first time there was day and there was night. God looked at the light and saw that it was good. This was the first day. On the second day, God spoke again, and this time he created the sky, a great expanse separating the waters, water above, held in the heavens, and water below, covering everything. God placed a firmament between them, creating space itself. He called this expanse heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. Let yourself rest in this moment. The foundation of the world was being laid slowly, purposefully. When the third day dawned, God said, "Let the waters under heaven be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." The seas rolled back, and solid ground emerged. God called the dry land earth, and the gathering of waters he called seas. But God wasn't finished with the third day. He looked at the bare earth and spoke again. "Let the earth bring forth grass, herbs yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit after their kind." And the earth responded. Green shoots pushed up through the soil. Tender grass spread across the land. Trees rose up, their branches reaching toward the sky, their roots digging deep. Each plant carried within it the seeds of its own continuation, designed to reproduce and fill the earth with life. On the fourth day, God turned his attention to the heavens. "Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." He created the sun to warm the earth and mark each day. He created the moon to pull the tides and light the night. And he created the stars, countless points of light scattered across the darkness. God set them all in the sky to give light upon the earth and to govern the day and the night. And God saw that it was good. Rest now in the rhythm that God was creating. Day and night, light and darkness, all working together in perfect harmony. When the fifth day arrived, God said, "Let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creatures of life and fowl that may fly above the earth." And suddenly, the seas were no longer silent. Fish of every kind began to swim through the waters, from the smallest creatures to the great whales. The sky is filled with birds, their wings catching the light as they soared and sang. God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth." Life was moving, swimming, flying, singing. The world was waking up. As you breathe slowly, imagine the gentle rhythm of waves in those ancient seas, the soft sound of wings in the air. And now we come to the sixth day. God spoke. "Let the earth bring forth living creatures after their kind, cattle and creeping things and beasts of the earth." Animals of every description came into being, creatures that walked on four legs, creatures that crawled, creatures great and small, each one designed for its purpose. But God had saved the most important work for last. Everything else had been spoken into existence from a distance, But now, God did something different. He said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness." And God formed man from the dust of the ground, shaping him with his own hands, carefully, lovingly. Then he leaned close and breathed into man's nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul, different from all the animals, carry within him something of God himself. God created humanity in his own image. Male and female, he created them. He blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing." This was an invitation to care for and cultivate the world God had made. Humanity would be the gardeners of creation, the stewards of all God's work. God looked at everything he had made, and he declared that it was very good. Not just good, but very good. The light and the darkness, the sky and the seas, the plants and the trees, the sun and the moon and the stars, the fish and the birds, the animals and humanity, all of it together formed a masterpiece. And so the heavens and the earth were finished. 6 days of creation, and now it was complete. Rest now as God rested. Let the peace of that very good creation wash over you. Everything is in its place. Everything is as it should be. Sleep well.